me all night and helped me build my trailer for my bike. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. So there's a great line from a world scripture that talks about fear and that how we might quell it. But it says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow. Note that it says shadow. Shadow's not a real thing. Shadow can't hurt you, but it sure can scare the you know what out of us. Yea, though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, because as we said yesterday, there are so many things to be legitimately afraid of. I believe humans are a very young species. I just heard a scientific fact the other day from an astronomer who said there could very well be a trillion stars. So that's a lot. A trillion stars. It's inconceivable for the human mind, but that means there are so many other planets and so many other life forms. It would be preposterous to think that the human species is the most evolved species anywhere in this universe. If we are, then wow, but I'm sort of the opinion that humans, as wonderful as we are amazing, aren't we? And we're also kind of crazy at the same time, an interesting balance of brilliance and craziness. But boy, are we run by fear. And based on our evolution, it's easy to see why that would be the case. It was so much more important for our ancestors to pay attention to what was dangerous. What tribe had the most dangerous new weapon, or what area had the most dangerous predators, as opposed to where were the bushes that had the most delicious berries? I mean, it was it's so wired into us to focus on what can hurt us, what can damage us. And the more we think about it, it's terrifying. It's like we should stay in bed all day long with the covers over us. We should never go outside. We're so fragile. And in any given moment, no matter how much security we try to lay up in everything that we can do, we can get all the money, we can get all the bank accounts, we can get all the security systems, we can wear armor plating, and yet poof, seemingly it seems so vacuous and easy to be hurt by things. So obviously fear is a cultivated state of mind, and a fearful person, it would be rather rude to say, well, just don't be afraid, just stop doing that. But if you have a nervous system, if any of us have a nervous system that's riddled with fear, then it's quite a challenge. Now, we all know people who seem to have no fear, and it seems like they have some sort of psychological disorder. They don't seem to be afraid of things. And so if you're one of those people, wonderful, the world needs you, right? The world needs that sort of fearless person. But a lot of us mere mortals, we are riddled with fear in a variety of ways. And since the topic this week is the quelling of that, there's so many ways to think about it, but ultimately fear is always a shadow. It's always the threat of something and never its actual reality. And we have to be able to see through that. And yet, if we're trained to be afraid of things, to constantly react in a fearful way, then that's autopilot for us. It's something that's just going to be a knee-jerk reaction. And the answer, and it always winds back around to this, is this meditational practice that we all do every single day, where we let the movement of our mind and the fearful things that seem like they might come and eat us up, that we simply resolve our mind and let the movement of our mind slow down and relax. In the absence of doing that, in the absence of practicing that consistently over a long period of time, people who have developed a fearful way of seeing life will continue that for the remainder of their life. Sorry, it's just the way that it is. Brains that are built in a particular way are going to continue to be that way until it changes. So in our practice of meditation, We simply calm our mind. And as we go through our lives, should we be attacked by something that's fearful, and there are so many things that might cause us to do that, we pause in the middle of that agitation and we simply ask ourselves, is what I'm afraid of real? Is what I'm afraid of, is it going to consume me and destroy me? And if we honestly look, not just intellectually, but spiritually inside of ourselves, we will know all the fearful things we've been through in our life and how we've always made it through, how we've always come out the other side, how every scripture always talks about fear is a shadow. It's a boogeyman always wanting to terrify us. And then each one of us, as we begin to resolve fear in our own system, we carry a certain brand of confidence and certainty in the world, and the world needs that. The world does not need more fearful people right now. It needs people who can look straight into the face of what appears to be genuinely terrifying and say, nope, I shall not be moved. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. What does that mean, thou art with me? There's a presence of being inside of me that is so strong and unshakable. I can always go there. I can always resolve my fear. I can always regain my composure and my sense of confidence, and then I can move on with the joy of living. I don't believe humans were put on earth to be terrified all the time. As John Lennon said, certainly we're not here to live in pain and fear. So relax, take it easy. Now, I'm not saying any of this because I'm free of fear. I'm one of those people who was riddled with it from a very young age, but slowly but surely we're overcoming it, and we can overcome it together. Have a beautiful day. We'll talk about it from another angle tomorrow. Bye-bye.